Welcome back. Video 19 in the Creative Finance Masterclass. 19. Our goal is 20.
They said we couldn't make it to 19, bro.
And here we are at 19. And this is going to be a fun one, guys, because Pace has one of his students. This is one of his superstar students in his creative financing mentorship program. And they've got a deal right now that they're working on. They've run into some snags. And Pace is going to get on the phone. I'll see if I can help out, but we're going to get on the phone and we're going to see what their issue is, what their problem is, and if we can solve this deal that they're working on, a creative deal.
Guys, if you like this episode, please make a comment down below, because I think Jerry and I should start an episode called The Deal Doctors, where we listen to your guys' painful situations, your sellers' painful situations. We take this big bag of tools we've talked about for videos 1 through 18, and we apply all the tools, all the procedures to these ailments and these issues that you guys have. We'd love to have you guys tell us about your deals and we break them down.
And then what's great about that is everybody watching that will learn from those situations.
Right.
I mean, it's great. It's a really great way to learn. I think we should do that. Guys, leave a comment if you want the Deal Doctors podcast or show.
Live.
We'll do it.
Every time I see Jerry in Montana, Puerto Rico, Arizona, you're not moving to Alpine ever again, are you?
I don't think so, because it doesn't match the Montana flip season thing.
Yeah, good point.
That's the problem. I love
so
it there,
wherever I
though.
see Jerry, we're going to continue this episode.
You know, we promised everybody we would do lives on the last batch of series we did, so we got to do that too.
We will.
Answering questions.
We will, as long as you make a comment.
Yeah, awesome. All right, let's dig into this problem.
Jerry Norton.
Carolyn, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You have no idea how many hours my husband, Myron, and I have watched of your live calls on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
They're
yeah.
some of my favorites.
You don't get bored?
Not at all.
Oh, good. What's your favorite thing about Jerry? Is it how many iguanas he kills, or what?
How many iguanas he kills? What's
Do
your
you not
favorite
talk?
thing about
Am I
Jerry?
the only one that knows this?
You're the only one that knows that, yeah. I put one picture of an iguana and Instagram took it down because it was like cruelty to animals.
Oh, dang it. Carolyn, you're an animal lover, right?
I mean, what was the iguana doing?
It was.
That's right.
It was eating one of Jerry's children.
I mean, how do you feel about like cockroaches, rats, mosquitoes?
No, thank you.
Okay,
They
it's in that
cannot.
category.
Yeah, they're in that category.
Okay.
In
okay.
Puerto Rico, an iguana is like 5 times the population of a human being. And so
Well-
they're like cockroaches there.
Yeah, they're like invasive.
They're very invasive.
Well, I can imagine when we were in Mexico honeymooning, they were everywhere on our resort. So
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you
Yeah.
know.
Okay, so tell me what's your ailment? How can the 2 doctors help?
Yeah, so Myron and I, we have a seller, a caller that established a relationship with an agent. The agent has clients. They're currently going through a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And they are both on board to do a sub-2. However, the agent is now wondering, like, how do we set up the contract? Can we set up the contract to do a sub-2? Because the judge has said you have to wait till everything finalizes to do whatever you need to do with the house.
Finalizes with what?
The divorce?
Right, with the divorce, correct.
Okay, so here's the thing. So the divorce decree is what dictates everything in one of these situations, okay?
Right.
So the divorce decree says that the couple has to sell the property and split the proceeds, correct?
Hey Pace, it's Myron. Hey,
Hi, Myron.
We don't know that part yet. They're in the middle of this.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
still
so you could technically, I wonder.
Secretary of contract?
You could do an well, they're in Texas, so you can't do executive.
We're in-
It's the
yeah.
one state. Just so you guys know, it's the one state that you cannot.
Can't
do
you guys bring us a deal not in Texas for the
I tell them. So I own
we're working on it.
I actually
We're
own a
working on
30 unit with them.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
So that we own a 30 unit in Corpus Christi together. So I like it when they bring me those deals. It's a seller finance. Oh, this was a great seller finance deal they brought. Seller in Corpus Christi, retiring, has like 25 million in real estate. He's like, I'm done. I just want to. I'm a tired landlord. I'm ready to sell everything off. 50-year note on a 30-year. It's 50 years or 40 years.
50.
It's 50.
So 50-year
3%.
note, 3% interest.
Who's even heard of that? Yeah.
Right. So 50-year note, 3% interest, and he says, I want $100,000, $150,000 down. I go, we'll give that to you, but we want it to go into escrow and have it go towards the construction cost. So he's like, okay, I got skin in the game.
Yeah.
So we put it into escrow, and so it's sitting there. We're currently renovating 18 of the 30 units right now.
Perfect.
Which is great. So
do you know when the decree is, or when the finalization is supposed to happen?
We don't know that yet.
That's important because now you know what time frame you're up against.
Is the agent willing to have a conversation with us or no?
Yeah, I would say so.
I didn't tee her up, but I can try.
Okay. Text her or him?
Yeah, let's.
Her.
Okay.
Now, do you guys realize since there's an agent, you're going to have to put some cash in the deal to cover commissions and closing?
Oh, absolutely.
They'll typically, they own, you guys own a handful of sub-2 deals, right?
Oh, you know then.
Yes. Yes.
So they own a handful. They also wholesale a lot of sub-2 deals in Texas. So by the way, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube and you guys want to connect with Carolyn and Myron, we'll put them in the show notes down below.
You guys are going to find this hard to believe, but Pace is recording this call right now.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine.
For you guys listening, there's an agent involved. And so when there's agents involved in a creative deal or really any deal, you've got to make sure that they're going to get paid in the transaction or they will not facilitate your deal.
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe there's a chance where they'll participate later.
A really smart one, like I had a good conversation with an agent yesterday. He's been an agent for 30 years. And he's like, well, I'll forego my commissions if you make me a partner on the
Exactly. Deal. So if they're willing to be creative, but most cases, you've got to cover enough to cover those commissions. So at closing, they get paid.
Right.
But
so Carolyn, so your question primarily right now is, can we buy a sub-2 deal from two people getting divorced? The answer is yes, you can, because the divorce decree 99.9% of the time is going to come out, and I've read probably 30 or 40 of these divorce decrees. They all come out with the same kind of boilerplate terminology, which is the sellers need to sell the property and disperse the proceeds to each individual person, right? So it's really simple. What you do is you create a note for each individual seller on the property, and they both get their individual payments depending on how the deal works. Or if it's just, they're going to walk away from the sub-2 deal and just take cash up front.
They would be, I think we're structuring it to where they get cash in their pocket.
Okay.
It's like $5,000 cash to them and 2% agent commission.
Okay, love it. So each one of the sellers, so husband gets $5,000 and the wife gets $5,000. They both walk away.
No, it would be $2,500.
$2,500. That's nothing.
It's nothing.
So nothing. But what you're saying, Pace, is now, okay, so if you take it over sub-2, they're kind of done.
Yeah, they're done. They've technically, legally sold the property.
For $5,000?
For $5,000.
Hey, just a quick thanks to one of our sponsors, and we'll get right back to the video. This video is brought to you by PropWire. Now, I get asked all the time how to find motivated seller leads, and PropWire is simply the best software for finding leads and downloading lists. And the best part is, it's 100% free, and there are no limit to how many leads you can download. PropWire has vacant houses, pre-foreclosures, absentee owners, REOs, auctions, high equity properties, probate, tired landlords, and more, plus custom filters and stack lists so that you can laser target the most motivated sellers in your area. Plus, they have cash buyers and private lenders nationwide, so you can quickly wholesale houses and fund your rehab projects. Oh, and one more thing. This is not some 7-day free trial that requires a credit card. Anyone can create a free account with just their email address and start building lists and downloading leads for free right away. Check it out at joinpropwire.com.
So Carolyn and Myron, what I would do is I would go to the agent and say, I think what we should do is we should open escrow, start the process. Let's get a sub-2 deal under contract stating both sellers will get $2,500. Agent will get his 2% commission. Let's start the title and escrow work and have a contingency in the contract stating that it's contingent upon receiving the divorce decree to make sure that we're moving forward appropriately.
Got it. Okay.
So you create a contingency with it, to make sure it's done.
But
right.
I would. Jerry and I talked about this earlier. Time kills all deals. As you Carolyn and Myron, you guys both know this because you're experienced now. By the way, guess what? Carolyn and Myron, I meet them. They'd probably been watching YouTube videos and reading books and stuff for like 4 or 5 months, and then they join my mentorship. And how many doors do you guys have now in just 1 year being active?
70, and then 72. We have 2 single family sub-2s working on a third and a fourth.
In a year.
And then 70 in multifamily.
You guys, that's incredible. Good for you. That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Would you guys be open to coming on my YouTube channel and sharing your story?
Absolutely.
I love that.
We're fangirling already. Yes.
Yeah, and Carolyn and Myron, they did a podcast with me right here in the studio about their first creative deal, and so your guys' first deal was a creative deal. And
yes, it was.
It was really funny. So they joined my mentorship. I didn't know it. They didn't know it, but I, like 2 days after they joined my mentorship, I go randomly on Instagram, and I go, whoever replies to this Instagram post first, I'll fly out to Texas, and you can stay at my house, and we're going to go on a road trip together.
And it was fly out to Arizona.
And they flew out to Arizona. Oh yeah, they flew out to Arizona. They hung out with me. She ended up staying right here in the basement for what? You guys stay here for like a week?
Yeah. We stayed there for way longer.
We hung out. They hung out in the pool. They brought their kids over. It was really cool, and we got to know each other. And then you guys did your deal within a couple of weeks of that, like being inside the community.
That's incredible.
The deal came from another sub-2 student, didn't it?
That first deal was actually me just reaching out, and it was through the seller reached out to me directly on Facebook. I got the contract signed that night
in an hour.
I love it.
And really, it was the sub-2 community that lifted us up through that whole thing to help us get it done.
We had so many people help us throughout that transaction. It was amazing. Yeah.
It's like you have to have people help you through the stuff, because it's like you get videos. It's the same thing with like, you know, I go to meetups with you, and you meet your people that are like learning from you, and they know each other, and people are collectively getting together. It's like you teach people, but then you build a community that all helps each other all the way through.
And now they're giving back because they're probably helping all kinds of students.
Carolyn has like helped out so much. She actually started doing like mindset stuff for other students to be like, hey, let me help you get over your mindset issues.
You know, just thinking here, going back to what Pace said there, what's great about that is you've got these unknowns, right, with your deal, with this divorce, how's this work? Well, whenever that happens, because that's going to come up all the time, especially with creative. I love what you said, Pace, because you're like, put the contract together, put a contingency that says, hey, there's something here we got to figure out, or maybe we got to change something, but let's keep this as an item to figure out later. Mm-hmm. And then let's create our deal pending this one thing we may not know about.
Yeah.
And then that allows you to still get your deal done. Like, let's say you were still on the phone from day one, you could actually get your deal signed and executed by creating that contingency. And then that just buys you time now to go solve that problem.
The other thing too about that, like to add that on, Carolyn and Myron, you guys have been in enough transactions now in the last year to know that you don't know what you're going to find when you open up escrow.
Right.
Right. It's like
totally.
It's like Pandora's box. So wouldn't it be better just to rush and get to that as fast as possible? And if you're overthinking the contract, then you don't really understand that the real issues are after you have the contract.
So I have a philosophy. It's contract first, due diligence second. Mm-hmm. So what I want to do is I want to do the least amount of due diligence up front until after I have a contract. Yeah. Because guess what something that could happen right now is while you guys are trying to figure out what to do with this divorce thing and time's going by, someone else comes in behind you and gets the deal and locks it up while you're doing your due diligence because you don't have a contract.
Right.
That makes sense?
I'm sure that's happened to them before in the past.
We've been snaked in a few scenarios,
And there are snakes in the grass.
And not even snakes, it's just you don't have the contract. So someone else comes along, offers something, seller goes with them, not you. So you wanna always get that contract, create the contingency to figure out some due diligence, and then go to work on solving the problems.
Got it.
What are you guys going to do with that deal?
Wrap it?
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
So why would they wrap?
A wrap?
Yeah, do you know why they'll do a wrap?
They're going to sell on a wrap.
They're going to sell on a wrap. Do you know why? Think it's state specific.
Texas.
They're in Texas. So what's the problem with Texas? Do you own any properties in Texas? Mm-hmm. The property taxes are so high. So if you're the landlord, you own the property, your ability to cash flow in Texas is really hard. So unless you're doing Airbnb or midterm rental or sober living.
Because it's not owner occupant
their property taxes are really, really high. So like I have houses where my mortgage payment's $1,800, but my property taxes are $1,500.
Yeah, like how's that supposed to work?
It's ridiculous.
We literally just ran into a deal like that today.
How is a wrap preventing that?
Well, the wrap doesn't prevent it. What the wrap does is it puts the onus and the ownership of the taxes on the actual end buyer. Oh, so you're not responsible for the taxes because you're the one that's just like, I'm passing it on to you. You're responsible for the taxes.
Gotcha.
So you don't have to worry about any of that crap.
So when you wrap it, who's your ideal buyer?
A 1099 worker.
Okay. Because this is how many units?
Hispanic community.
This is this is a single family.
Oh, it's a single family.
I was just about to ask them about the multifamily house.
It's in Odessa.
Okay, so it's like Armadillo area.
Armadillo area,
so
exactly.
You might sell this to an actual armadillo.
Tumbleweeds.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
No, we know Kevin Cho has done a few wraps out there, so we know there's a market for it.
Yeah, Alejandro Alvarez has too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I love that. So you guys buy the deal. You're only $2,500 to each seller. Agent gets 2% instead of 3% because it's a creative deal. Agent's ecstatic. Agent's like, let's get this deal done.
Or 2 agents?
One.
Just one.
Okay, so you're doing both ends with the same agent. Meaning they represent the seller and you're working directly with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I structured it a little different. I say I'll bring your commission to my side.
Yeah.
I'll pay for your commission, and that's where I leave it. And she was really happy about that.
Yeah, I bet.
I can put that $5,000 in their pocket.
In Odessa, Texas, that 2%, she could live on that for 2 years. Okay, so I love it. I would call the agent right now and say, hey, let's get into a contract, and we'll just put a contingency in the contract stating once the divorce decree comes out, then we revisit if our contract is valid or if we need to redraft and add an addendum to the existing contract.
Perfect.
Got it.
I was overthinking it.
Typically, we all as human beings, even 5 years into the business, 10 years into the business, I think the tendency is to overthink everything.
I was like, what if the judge puts a contingency or stipulation in place on the house that it has to be sold a specific way? I don't know.
I've never seen that. I probably have right now 11 or so properties in my portfolio from divorce situations. And every single time the divorce decree is written the same way and we follow the divorce decree, the judge doesn't care as long as the sellers, the divorcees both agree on the contract.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Got it.
They both agree now, so we're on board.
Yeah, you're good to go. Go get the contract.
Love it.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you guys are awesome.
I'll email you and Jerry together as well, so you guys can connect on the YouTube channel.
That'd be great.
That would be amazing. We're looking forward to it.
It's a weird format though on his YouTube channel. You have to go out to his plantation in or his like mango farm.
I'm booking tickets right now.
How many mangoes do you have on your property?
We have 2 big mango trees. Yeah, we have a lot of mangoes. We have a bunch of other fruit trees too.
Our kids love mango.
Yeah.
The mangoes are good?
The problem is when they're in season is when we're in Montana for the summer.
Oh.
So we kind of miss it a little bit.
That sucks.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Boom.
Super fun, guys. Hey, if you want to learn creative financing at a really high level, go to paceandjerry.com. From there, what you can do is you can schedule for a strategy session. Which camera am I looking at? I'm looking up here.
Yeah.
You can schedule a strategy session with Pace's team. They're going to sit down with you and see if being part of his mentorship is the right thing. You just talked to one of Pace's superstars. What did they say? Did they say 100?
72 units in 1 year.
In 1 year, guys.
Yeah.
72. That is so incredible.
Yeah.
So check that out, guys. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Of course, go subscribe to Pace. Pace is really doing well on your YouTube channel. I love what you're putting out.
I just follow.
I watch your videos. I love watching your videos. And this camera. Well, what am I supposed to look, Ben?
This one.
Okay, this one. Okay.
Here, it's right
First
here.
he pointed over there, then he pointed over here. But this has been so fun. I love that we created so much content, bringing value to you guys. Be sure to start implementing these strategies right away. None of this means anything if you don't actually go out and start doing it.
Right.
So like you learn this, go do it today. Start implementing this stuff and you'll see massive growth in your business. And we'll see you on the next video.